Hi, this is Zach here with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Friday, the 12th of January. Starting off with the FTSE 100, which has done what we didn't want it to do, which was have to test the 200-day line there, currently around 75.70, so we've bounced off that in two sessions. The good news, I suppose, is that that is still rising, as is the 50-day line, so in theory we're in the run-up to a golden cross buy signal between the two, which should happen at the current rate of progress by the end of this month. While we're waiting for that, we're also looking for a break of that resistance line there from the beginning of the month at 76.80. Above that, looking for 78.20. On the downside, hoping that we won't see anything lower than the 50-day line in the floor of that rising trend channel from October, 75.40. RSI is still just managing to stick on the right side of neutral 50, which is a mild positive. Moving on to the DAX, and here got this consolidation between old July resistance, 16,500, and old December resistance at 17,000. Looking for a break outside at that, otherwise obviously one's trading the range. Above 17,000, looking for 18,000 by the end of the next month. On the downside, below 16,500, looking for 16,000, well, probably 200 now, which is where the 50-day line currently lies. RSI's bounced off 50 twice so far this month, which is quite an achievement and a leading indicator on the upside potentially. Moving along to the Dow, which has managed to maintain that rising trend channel from back at the beginning of October. Very steep channel, so very impressive that it's doing that. Recent support around 37,000, above 38,000, and in that March resistance line projection on an end-of-day close basis, we're looking for as much as 39,700 by the end of next month, even though that seems rather ambitious. If we do break 37,000, then it's back to December resistance, initial December resistance at 36,300 or so. Moving on to Bitcoin, which is obviously the star of the show at the moment with the ETF news, and here obviously a lot of it in the price already. We did have a spike for this market towards 49,000, but still looking for progress within this rising trend channel from October, and the floor of the channel currently around 43,000. If we're lucky, we'll stay above that. If we're relatively lucky, we'll stay above the 50-day line at 42,200, and if we're not so lucky, it'll be back down to November resistance between 38,000 and 40,000. But at the moment, probably expecting the 50-day line to cover any downside. On the upside, looking for as high as 52,000 by the end of next month. The gold is next, and here you can see that the hope that we were going to stay above the 50-day line looks like slightly forlorn at the moment. We've got to the RSI now below the neutral 50 level at 42, so that does suggest there's a risk of a test of the 200-day line at $1,981. At this stage, early and end-of-day close really back above 2060, and that old May resistance line really suggesting that the recent pullback from 2100 has run its course. Moving on to the stocks, and starting off with Audioboom, where the lay of the land looks rather more positive on a fundamental and a technical perspective. But here we're really looking at the technicals. Here we've got a sideways consolidation above at and above old resistance from December. That was around the 305 area, and now new support coming in well above that. Looking for a breakout up towards £4 by the end of next month, which is the upper parallel of our broadening triangle from back in June. Obviously, we hit the first target there around 280. The previous target, the initial target there was around the 170 level, which was after the bullish divergence turnaround and break of the 50-day line back in November. Next stock is one which is hopefully going to confound the bears a bit more. We've got director buying here, which has managed to maintain the price. At least today we're up 22%. We did peak at our second target there, 0.75, yesterday, and I did say that above 0.75 we're looking for a penny. Obviously at the moment that looks rather ambitious. The moment what we are looking at is a break of 0.6 to give us a retest of 0.75 on Cellular goods, with its new trendy name coming up as well. Corcel's been one of the best performers of the recent past, especially December. Here it looks as though we found our support above a previous target there, 0.8, which is encouraging, at around 0.88. and above that looking for a retest of a penny. Best case scenario target here up to 1.3 pence by the end of next month. It looks like we've got a second positive consolidation there for the shares in the recent past. Early bird warning for a potential turnaround here at Clontarf, in the sense that we've been in this rather frustrating falling wedge since basically the beginning of June. It looks as though if you look up close that we're ready to turn around, especially with today's strong candle there opening at the low and so far at the high of the day, and a bit of bullish divergence in there. But an end of day close through 0.05. Or preferably the 50-day moving average just above that, could give us a target as high as 0.09 by the end of next month. That would take the shares back up towards the area of the 200-day moving average. Onto a stock which doesn't get much coverage here or anywhere, but I thought I'd throw it in anyway, CT Automotive, and here we're still dancing around our initial target there, around the 68 pence level, 69 pence, and above that looking for as high as 95 pence by the end of next month, especially after this latest rebound off a rising 50-day moving average, intraday rebound, in fact, on that situation. One of the stocks of the recent past has been DG Innovate, and it looks like the share is taking up the slack of the sort of the Tesla-related news. This consolidation pattern looks like a mid-move consolidation, just really waiting for, I suppose, a break of 0.22, which is recent intraday resistance, to give us the prize here of a move up towards 0.4 pence by the end of next month. The 0.4 pence target derived by an early 2021 resistance line projection, and ideally the shares stay above the recent spike low or probe low of 0.16. Moving along to a stock which looks as though it is getting more promising by the day. We've got Emmerson again. Here we had the V-shaped bull flag breakout, I call them, through 1.9 pence. Above that we were looking for up to 2.7 pence on this situation. You've got the 200-day line, 2 3/4, so that's our target hopefully by the end of this month or even sooner. And the reason for the relative enthusiasm is that you can see that these the last candles there, the last 5 candles, they're very strong, so the shares tending to open at the low, close near the high. We had a bit of that also back at the end of December, so this is looking very strong, like a sort of accumulation process going in there, and obviously one can try and guess why that may be the case. Above 2.9 pence, looking for the shares to fill the gap up to 3.5 pence by the end of next month or even sooner. 50-day line also rising now, which is a positive. One of my top 24 for 2024 was or has been Incanthera, and looks like, as you can see, the shares have done rather well over the recent past. The target here still initially up to 16 pence. We might get that by the end of this month, and we're looking for that while we're above the middle of that big update that we had earlier in this month, around the 9 pence level. So above 9, looking for 16 pence now on Incanthera. Moving along to Jubilee Metals, which has been in the wars over the recent past, but we've now got what I call the sideways shuffle in place, so breaking above the 50-day line and then staying above it even on support tests. That suggests that we're going to head up towards the 9 pence level by the end of next month or even sooner than that, while we're above that 50-day line around 5.6 pence. Next up is a stock which has done rather well over the recent past, Katora, and hitting our initial target there at 0.13. Next target here, a late 2022 resistance line projection as high as 0.22, and we're looking for that by the end of this month now, actually, the way things are going. Light Science is the next contender, and here, a bit like Emmerson, we've got these very strong candles, a couple of strong candles for today and yesterday. That suggests that somebody's sniffing around and looking for the shares to not only hit the top of that gap down that we had back in April around 3.8 pence, but also head as high as 4.5 pence by the end of next month, while we're above that 50-day line, just under 3 pence, or in fact just under 2.7 pence in this current situation. Longboat is next, and here you can see that we have a situation where the shares have sort of been bumping along the bottom of this rising trend channel from back in March last year. What's interesting is that we've got both the 50 and 200-day lines now rising sharply for a golden cross over the next hopefully week or two, and we're looking for 40 pence, which is a punchy call as soon as the end of next month. RSI rebound above the neutral 50 also helping the cause. So basically above 17 pence, looking for 40 pence in whatever time frame one sees fit. Some news today from Metals Exploration, and that's caused the shares to overshoot our previous target. They're around 2.9 pence and head towards the next target, which is the upper parallel of that rising trend channel, probably up to as high as 3.7, 3.8 pence. We get the parallel line drawn properly, maybe 3.75 pence, while we're above 3 pence for that situation. But a nice slow burn rally for the shares over the last year. Moving along to NFT, and here we've got this V-shaped bull flag in operation. We obviously overshot our initial target there, around 2.5 pence, and looking for the upper parallel of that resistance line from last year, from back at the end of 2021, at 4 pence as soon as the end of next month or even sooner. Always good fun to look at Predator, given the volatile nature of the shares and all the fundamentals in the mix as well. Here we've got a bear trap island reversal, so gapping down, going to new near-term lows, and then gapping up again through the 50-day line. That suggests that we should finally be able to head up to 12 pence by the end of this month, while we hold above recent support there at 9.25. Finishing off with Vinanz on the Aquis market. Somebody has to look at it, I suppose, and here you can see that we've got a situation where you can understand why there's been director buying there. We've got the step progression, so going up, rising vertically, then sideways, and then vertically again. That suggests that we are in a rising trend channel from November, top of the channel there at 14 pence, and we're looking for that by the end of this month or even sooner. That's it for me today. More updates over the weekend.